What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Our Perspective podcast with me, your boy, Easygoing A, and of course with me, my two big bros, as always, Aaron A.R. Reedus,
What it do? What it do?
and of course today with his second nickname, the Snacker, ladies and gentlemen. Give our the world renowned Snacker. He all the gourmet snacks.
You gotta get your
Is there a
Haagen
mixer going
Dazs.
on?
You got to get your Haagen Dazs. Your Grippos and all of that stuff.
The
If
It,
you
Ripple.
if you
it,
fancy cheese, it's me. I prefer the white cheddar with the ripples. You know what I'm saying?
as I said, this nigga eating right now. That's all the sound effects. This nigga eating right
Yeah.
now.
Don't man skip all that. Ask the Negro if he got a grape soda.
Mm-mm. Nah. Nah, if he drinking pop, that nigga's drinking either a Fago, what is it, red Fago, or a
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Pepper. That's what I already know what
Mm-hmm.
that
He
I
does.
already know what he
Yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
I
That
already
red
know
Fago like an IV, boy.
I already
Dr.
know what he drinking.
Baby.
110.
I gotta give me a. I gotta work on my lighting in my room. I got a light last time. I ain't feel like getting up, nigga. My knees, bro.
No, you didn't.
my knees,
Not the
nigga.
knees.
My knees, nigga. I'm about to get a lamp in here just so I ain't got to get up and walk in another room. I'm going to Goodwill.
There is no promise of criminality in your
at,
future.
at
You
all, bro.
continue to move forward. So
Nigga,
it's like,
hey,
no.
no. I was like, we was sitting here talking the whole entire time just so I can be like, you know what? I need a light in here, but I know where the light is, but I don't feel like getting up to go get the light. Like my knees, nigga, my knees. It's just not. And and and,
Wow.
and that is our segue to today's topic. Normally we kick it off. Let me do our normal kickoff. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. Please,
Yes, yes.
please continue to share, like, and follow us on YouTube and on Podbean. So, yeah, as usual, we don't have no sponsors, but we're actually working on that for the future, and they're coming very soon. We trust and believe in that. And like I said, we're going to jump right into our topic. And the topic is how simple we as men are. As you have heard me say, we are pretty simple creatures. Like the fact that there's a light, I know I need a light. I know where the light is, but I don't feel like getting up to go get the light. Like, it's that simple. It's like it's my life is not that complicated. It's like we know, and I think people have overcomplicated us so much, and we're not. Like men are not complicated. Like it's if the world really truly knew how easygoing we were, I don't even know how much stuff would get done. Like I don't even know how much stuff would need to be done because we're just super simple. We're not that complicated. Like we it and I think it's the fact that we are so simple and so uncomplicated that people cannot understand us. Women cannot understand us because we are so easy and we're so easy and uncomplicated. It's like, and now that I get older, and like now that I'm older, I am closer to 40 than I want to be. I think I finally hit that mature nigga stage. I think I've officially hit mature nigga stage to where long as it don't mess with my peace, I don't care. Like I don't know if that's just something that came with the age or not, but I am officially at that stage in my life to where the older I get, if it does not mess with my peace, I don't really care. Like, is that just a part of getting older? Is that just a part of just being that simple and maturing to realize that if something does not mess with your peace, it just doesn't matter? Like, what do y'all think? I done lost both of them.
Oh no, no, you ain't lost nothing. What? I'm just saying, where you want me to pick up at? Peace or simplicity? Because,
Either or, either or.
because, because tell you the truth, I mean, you told no lies there. I mean, the crazy part about being a guy overall. It's like you said, you could give us a ham sandwich and some caressing for
It's a
a PG-13 style term. You can give us we cook with a grilled cheese and some caressing every now and again. Other than that, I mean, ain't no complicity going on. I mean, no complexity it wrapped up in us in our DNA. It's just like okay, perfect example. When we say, so because I'm on my I'm teaching right now. So when we say that we're going to the store, I'm due Mr. Reader. So when we say we're going to the store, we walk
Yes,
in
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
store, we grab said item we want, we pay for it, and back in the car. We don't
Yes,
care
sir.
about what's to the right or to the left if it ain't nothing concerning us. It could be a whole baby down there choking their mama in the headlock, and we might stop to confirm that we saw what we saw. But other than that, we gonna keep going and go grab right what we want.
just because it ain't got nothing to do with us.
Just because it ain't got no.
Sir.
Hey, even if you had
100%.
to go down that aisle, what we gonna do?
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. My bad.
Yeah.
Let
Hey,
me get that plow. Let me get that plow.
excuse me. A little to the left. A little to the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all might want to get that. And then we back in the car.
We back
Plain
in the
and
car.
simple. Plain and simple. It's just like, okay, another example. When it comes to a man's birthday, what we want to do.
Chill.
A lot. Chill.
Chill.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chill.
Five-letter
No
word. Don't
balloons,
hurt
no
nobody.
streamers,
Don't
sir.
cost
Nothing.
nothing. Don't cost you
Nothing.
nothing.
Chill.
Nothing.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing.
Bro.
Nothing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
So it's just like
Woo.
it's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Most
You
of
want to give
us.
me a phone
Facts.
call? Hey, most of us. But
Most
see,
of
here's
us.
the thing. Here's the thing. We gonna get philosophical and a little get on some
Uh-oh.
psychology. All right. The reason why that small percentage of guys that want more than just some peace and they need all of that showering and gifts and all of that is because they were probably neglected as a child. So they have to have some form of love in a physical format
Eh,
being gifted to them because they got the lack of affection and love in probably in the beginning, or it could have been the fact that that's just how their people show love in
Yeah.
their
Okay.
household.
I'll say
Like
I give
for
you that one.
example, it's,
Fair enough.
hey, I ain't gonna tell you I love you, but oh, you got A's and B's. You could have did better, but here go a pair of Jordans though. You see what I'm saying? Here go a pair of, here
Yeah.
go a gold chain.
Facts.
Oh, you got an A in science? We should have got an A plus. But hey, here's a car. You
Yeah.
see what
Well,
I'm saying?
better than nothing. You
Better
did
than
Fair,
good.
nothing.
fair, fair.
You did all right. You did good.
So
Well,
But
okay.
yeah, and I'm gonna leave that there.
you did all right.
Well, okay. Okay.
You did all right.
Okay. Well, you know what? I agree. I believe that the complexity of men, if there is to be any complexity found, is not in our way of solving the problem. It's the way we attack it or how we appreciate it or the taught behavior in which we are styled after. But it sure as heck ain't for most men to be complex in the way they solve the problem.
No.
They just want to solve the problem. If you
That's
present
it.
the issue, I just want to solve the problem.
That's it.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, we do have to learn a couple of things. I have really kind of seen one, got to learn how to tell the truth. Most men say they do, most men do not. When you don't
Mm,
practice it, yes, you lose practice, and yes, it does look like you're struggling. So,
yeah.
number two, you got to be honest with yourself and you have to forgive yourself. That is something that, unfortunately, I think is lost in translation in being a man sometimes. It's if the world held you accountable, so you hold the world accountable. Yeah, well, you could do that, but your clipboard gonna get pretty full pretty quick, and you're gonna get bogged down and you're gonna kill yourself. So why don't you slow down? And that's what creates that in men, and where we tell each other, brother, I am appreciative and I love you. It takes a lot for some men. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't receive it when they was
Yeah,
younger, but
we don't.
I don't. Oh no, not
We
at
don't.
all. That our conversation
Yeah,
isn't like
is.
that.
I'm about to say. I ain't mean to cut you off either. I'm sorry. It's just.
Go for it.
It was
Come
just.
on.
I'm
Say
just
what?
saying. Like that's why. Like a lot of we as men are taught from a very young age, like we are very matter of fact. You know, it is though, because like I can't say like we don't get taught love, because like my parents would always, hey, I love you, you know, I care about
Right.
you, this and that, like that. They was always that, like they were always affectionate and stuff like that. But at the same time, as you grow up, and I can't even say where you necessarily get it, but you get that lesson as you are a man, so these are your standards, if you will. Like
Bet.
this is you have to do this. This is your mentality. You it's like it's that, well, you a boy, you don't cry. You like
Hmm.
you don't express
Sure.
this
Yeah,
feeling.
Stop
because
it.
it's
Stop
really
acting
an
like a girl.
expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it becomes an expectation that is
expectation.
forced in as a standard. It
Yep.
becomes an expectation that is forced into standard. Why? Because that standard actually carries you further than the expectation.
Yeah, it
It's not just them; it's actually people around you. It's a general society vibe
yeah.
But do
that
you
men
notice
aren't supposed to do that.
it's more prevalent in our community than it is anywhere else, though?
You ever notice
Yeah.
that we do teach each other with aggression? You ever notice that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You ever
we
notice
do.
like it's not
Yeah.
like you want to, but it feels like I mean,
That's the
no, no.
only
I
It
mean,
way
when
we
I was
learn.
younger, come on.
it's
Hey,
just a rite of
hey,
passage.
bro. I done walked into some rooms where either you gonna be an animal or you gonna get eaten. It's either
Pretty
that or
much.
that.
It what
Conversation is different. Low
is
combo. You feel me?
Yeah.
What is Dave Chappelle? He says sometimes you have to be a lion just to be the lamb that you really are. Like what is it?
For
Sometimes you
real.
have to act like a lion just so you can be the lamb you
Be
really are.
lamb that you were, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's the it's I think for men, and because there's a different requirement on us too. I don't think I think a lot of folk don't understand the I'm trying to think of the word, not just expectation, but the stress on men to be different animals, because
Well,
we're the providers, we are the protectors, we're the ones who have to always kind of be on heightened sense. And I think maybe that's the reason why we're not so complicated, is because we cannot necessarily afford to be complicated, if that makes sense. Like we cuz
not for a long period of time.
yeah, it's like when you are a protector, when you are a provider, when you are like that monster in a sense. Monsters are not really complicated. It's like when you really think about it, a monster is not as complicated as it is. It's like they're basic when you really think about it. They are uh, just this creature. This is what they're going to do. Like if you look at a lion is not complicated. When you look at a tiger is not complicated. You look at
Not
gorillas.
at all.
There's no like king of the beast. There's no powerful animal that is super complicated. They're just like they're going to eat. They're going to hunt. Like this is they're going to fight. They're going to
Right?
be this. They're going to eat. They're going to sleep. They're going to mate, and that's it. Like they are basic, just boom, 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 boom. Because I don't think we can afford to be complicated. Because if we are complicated, I think there's a lot of failure somewhere. I think there's a lot of things that will fail because like imagine if your protector, like just imagine if you're the person who's supposed to protect you is trying to do 87 things. You're gonna
I'm not
die.
saying that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that priorities don't play a role in leadership,
Yeah, of
but
course.
it really comes down to the environment you put yourself in, because you become a reflection. It is what it is. You become a reflection of your environment. At a certain point, whatever you put in, if it was garbage in, then it's garbage out.
Right.
If it's sophistication, if we're trying to learn, we're trying to grasp, and even if you're not good at it, you might be the type of man that could break down complex things, but you need a little
Hmm.
bit more time. Or
Hmm.
you find yourself procrastinating. So the thing is, what I feel is most complicated for most men is, where do you find yourself connecting? Where are you connecting to? Are you looking for the problem to solve? Are you trying to be antiquated? Are you faking it? Because there's a lot of brothers faking it
Oh yeah.
when they got to sit there in the still moments of the night and try to
Oh
reason
yeah.
with themselves as if
Oh
to
yeah.
say, "Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
really like what really like that for me."
Yeah.
But it was funny because I remember black men who didn't grow up like that trying to fake like they use food stamps, and you got to correct them like, "Hey, brother, they don't do
Yeah,
books no more. They do cards."
that's not your, but it's like that's not your story. Like, and I do it.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not your story. Like I say that all the time to my wife. I'm like, look, don't try to write a story that ain't for you. Don't try to write that. You don't know what that's like.
Thank you.
I will never. You will never hear me say I'm a thug nigga. You will never hear me say I rip and ran streets. You'll hear me say I understand certain attributes of it because I had family members who sat me down and was like, man, this is how X, Y, and Z happened. Like you gotta at least know something about the game. We're not saying you gotta be in it. We're not saying that you gotta do what we did, but we also kind of gotta put you on game because if you are around us one day or if you by yourself and somebody try to game you, you know, you got to know the rules. You got to know the rules. So here's a book. Here's at least a little something on it. But
Right, right. I'm
I
not
can't
trying
play that.
to.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't
give you
play.
a dollar, but
Yeah,
here's the 32 cents.
I never played that stuff. Like I never could play it. I could never play the role of the gangster
I think
nigga.
it's generational to some extent, man, because these
Yeah,
Negroes have restarted that completely.
I,
Uh, I remember telling people like "Kill or Be Killed" was never really how it was. That never existed. You had to meet a certain type of person to get that perspective. And usually, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them was dead early, bro. A
yeah.
lot of them never made it to 21,
It,
for one reason or another. Just you know what I'm saying, just didn't make it, bro. A lot of folks clocked out by the time I was a senior. So it's just one of those things. Like we just realized that life is short, and that
yeah,
if you play a game where bravado rules, well then yeah, life looks cheap because it is. There's no real interest in bravado. There's no how do you grow a better bravado? How do you
yeah,
do that? You know what I'm saying? It has to be realism somewhere. So usually I kind of stayed away from people who wanted to look a certain way because that meant that you probably never had it like that. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
I wonder
so.
if people know alpha males have a time limit. Like, I don't think that's a discussion that we
Woo!
have. I don't think that's a discussion we
Oh,
have as men. And it's crazy because there was a video and it was a lady. She was like, she was on a date with her now husband, her at the time because the video's
right,
kind of
right.
old. But she was talking to him. They were on their first date, and he was like, I'm not an alpha male. He was like, I am a masculine man. Like he was like, there's a difference. And
There's a difference
I don't think and that was like it made me sit down and go, yo, that's that's
for real.
there is a difference between that when you sit down and think about that. There is a difference between that. And it went and where it came to is like alpha males have a time limit. There's no alpha who reigns forever.
Forever.
He
Never.
reigns for a period of time, and the period of time that he reigns is his prime. Like that is his prime. So that prime can
That's
be
it,
5 years, that prime could be 10 years, and that's it.
bruh.
That's as
That's it.
good as it gets. And then once it's
Ooh,
over. It's
yeah.
and
Yeah, it breaks.
it's
Everything breaks.
it's over, and that can end with you in the grave. That can end with you in jail. That can end with you in a chair. Like it can end so many different ways. But being a masculine dude, that's consistency. That's consistent. That's a thing that can last for 70 years. Alpha male can last for a couple. Masculinity can
Well,
last forever. Like that's what like the prime example. Like if you look at like a Bumpy Johnson, when you look at like all the drug dealers, Al Capone,
Okay.
Bumpy Johnson, all of those guys, they reigned for a period of time. Frank Lucas reigned for a period of time, but
True.
they all fell. Frank fell.
Hard.
Al Capone
Hard.
fail. Was it Nicky Barnes fail? Like every dude that we ever sat here and was like, this is the hardest nigga. This is the alpha dude. This is the dude that's like big
The
in
quintessential.
yeah. Like these are those niggas. They all got a story of time up. Like they all got that, and I don't think that we as men, a lot of us as men, don't sit our young men down and be like, You know what? Don't try to be the alpha nigga in the group. You can be the masculine nigga in the group, and then you can decide from there, is this what I want to run with, or is this what I don't want to run with? This is what I mess with, this is what I don't mess with. If this is what y'all niggas is on, I ain't about to be on that. Y'all do y'all. I'm gonna be over here. Like we don't teach niggas how we don't teach young men how to make life uncomplicated. Well, thanks a
Well,
lot, Dad. I appreciate that. Like in that moment, like I really like understood my dad for a second. Like, wow. Okay.
no, it's good that you put that out there because sometimes when I'm on the phone with my dad, I have to kind of remind him of a situation where he was trying to explain something to me, and I got to say, I get it now. And he enjoys that. He finds
Amen.
satisfaction in hearing that, and it's not
Yeah.
satisfaction as in I beat you. No, it's satisfaction in knowing that his son is actually growing into manhood with wisdom that he instilled in him, not from somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, the satisfaction of
Yes.
being a parent and telling your child something as they were young, and then they hold on to it and they get older and they say, "Hey, I get it." It's like it's a different level of satisfaction that you feel knowing that you actually instill something in your child maybe a decade ago, maybe it was just 5 years ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But the fact
That
that they got it and they wanted you to know that they got it, that brings a certain amount of pleasure to a parent's heart. Here's the
true.
thing though. It's not the fact that we don't teach our youngins what they should know. It's the fact that we don't kind of explain the difference. Okay, so being masculine is just one thing, but when they say be an alpha, well, if you know anything about the jungle and the pride, and the king of the jungle is the alpha male. Yeah, he is the alpha male until another alpha male with equivalent strength or more, most likely more, comes to take his spot. And that's usually how that happens. Even in dogs, the alpha dog,
Oh yeah, sure.
the smallest dog out of the pound is the one that nobody gonna run with because they already know, hey, he might be small, but he's hard to beat. You see what I'm saying? So being an alpha is kind of an overrated trend.
Distinction, if you will.
Definitely
Seriously.
distinction because here's the thing. Here's another thing about being an alpha. If you ever look at movies where the original character is like the guy. Let's say Fast and Furious. Vin
Okay.
Diesel is the guy. He's like the alpha of the crew. Everybody kind of goes to him for confirmation, right? Even though
Sure.
everybody has their own skill set. The difference is that he's only good at so much until he has to outsource his skill sets from somebody else. I'm not saying that a masculine man doesn't have to outsource, but if you're an alpha, you're only good at one thing essentially. A
That's
masculine
it.
man, just a man's man, you're gonna be a jack of all trades, master of none, but enough to be able to get the job done. You see what I'm saying? So,
Feel you.
kind of considering yourself an alpha, like self-appointing, that's a sign of weakness. Again, you haven't been
Sir.
loved enough. You haven't been loved enough as a child, or even as a teenager, to know the power of self, of who you are. Okay, if you're alpha, what can you bring to the table that no one else can do for themselves?
That.
You see what I'm saying? If you're an alpha, what makes you an alpha? Because you're strong. Okay, I'm
Well,
smart. So when smartness beats brawn, then what? Now am I alpha
then what?
because I'm smarter than you? Or you know what I'm saying? So what makes one an alpha? Just because you are the self-appointed
Quote,
leader of the pack
right. Quote
doesn't
unquote.
make you right, doesn't make you the alpha because here it is the one with all the mouth that says I'm the leader. I'm not I'm this, I'm that. The one that's the quietest that says the least is the most powerful one because they don't talk as much because they're taking in all the information. So now
Period.
the quiet one in the corner got all the information. Now who's stronger? The one that's running their mouth all the time or the one that's got all the information? Last time I checked, the emptiest wagon make the most noise. So if you're a
Oh, don't you
self-appointed
start.
alpha, You're a self-appointed alpha. That explains why the other people, is especially the opposite gender, women, find men nowadays complex because their self-appointed ego stroking tells them to say, "I'm the alpha of this, and I can do this, and I can do that." But when stuff comes down on you in real life, like you got to pay a bill before you get your lights cut off, or you got to pay the rent before you get kicked out, and you got a kid that's sitting here expecting you to still bring food in the house. All right, let's see how
Come
much of
on,
alpha you are then. Let's see how resourceful
come
you
on.
are then, because the alpha. A real alpha, if he know chips is down and back against the wall, what do? We fight. We don't curr up.
Can't afford
Bro,
can't
you have
afford
So
to.
no moral compass. You
come
have
on
no
now, and
moral
then
compass that would stop you from earning.
Yeah,
come on,
That's
man.
poor.
And
Sorry.
it's been plenty of times in my adulthood, not in my childhood. I'm not putting none of that on my parents. I'm talking about my adulthood and my
Come
house.
on,
When I see the red notice come through there say disconnect, and some things gotta go, some things gotta be done. Come on, man. We shaking and moving,
come
baby.
on.
We finna get this paid today.
Hey, today.
Today. We're not waiting for the due date. We gonna
No,
get this
no,
knocked
no, no.
out.
Yeah,
But
that,
when you show your resources and show that you can take lead on what you need to do in real life, and I ain't talking about telling somebody what to do just because they a flunky and follow you. That don't make you an alpha. That just
no.
means the other nigga behind you is a sucker.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't know
You
the
know.
difference.
Well, you first in line, you know what I'm saying?
You just a send off guy. You know.
Come on.
So you know they
There's
call them
nothing
cash
like
out
watching
dummies
people.
now. Come on,
Oh,
man. Yeah,
yeah, come on.
you're the
You
alpha
know
because
what's funny? No matter the
you got
title we
five
give them, they
flunkies
still the same.
following you. Right, you got five flunkies following you. You want to call yourself alpha? Probably
But
like, look who's following you, and then
right.
consider what you got going on. Because you know what I'm
But
All
saying?
I know is if somebody start pitching, who gonna start catching? Because that's what goes.
Exactly.
That determines real quick.
nah,
Come
Because
on, man.
once the sound go off,
it
we all
Yeah.
in it. What we doing?
And
they
exactly. And
but
one thing, and it's a few things that five flunkies is good for: snitching, stabbing you in the back, and snitching.
it,
Boy,
they don't. But I don't think a lot of dudes get that. A lot of dudes don't get that. It's not how many people you got behind you; it's who you got behind you. You can have one. It can be two niggas against 10. But if these two niggas know how to do something that 10 don't, they running the gauntlet.
Exactly.
Like
oh yeah.
they
So
running a gauntlet, bro. Like that's one of the best lines I ever heard was from Harlem Nights. He said, "Hey, it ain't how many people you shoot,
It's
it's
who
who
you
you
shoot.
shoot." And
who you
and
shoot?
and
Exactly.
and the problem is you got a lot of folk who think that it's just like, oh man, if I go out here and I act crazy with a bunch of people, then they gon' it's like, nah, bro, you fought a bunch of nobodies. Like let's be real. Let's look at Jake Paul. Like let's look at Jake
Hmm.
Paul, bro. You oh man, I'm a fighter. I whoop this person. I do this and I'll do that. Until you got in the ring with a real boxer.
Right. Hey, look,
Yeah,
Look,
you
you
fought the
dude.
only person that you fought with some validity in the ring was Tyson, and he's a senior citizen.
and he
He's supposed to be at MCL,
but let's be
eating
real.
off the eating off the senior.
He held back. Like everybody
You had
watching.
to. Yeah, you contracted. You NDA'd
Yeah,
him into it.
right.
You
Yeah, of
had to
course.
because you knew.
He knew. But even B Hop. I mean, not Bernard Hopkins. What's the one? Oh snap!
I know.
I
Sugar
know.
Shane Mosley.
No, Roy Jones. That's what
Oh,
when
yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Tyson
yeah.
when Tyson fought him. He was like, "Yeah, I know this was the contract. The contract said we can't do X, Y, and Z." He's like, "But I didn't know if I hit him, was this nigga gonna snap and
Mm-hmm.
go off?"
Well,
He was like Mike might be 50, but he was like Mike was in the best shape of his life. He was like Mike was still hitting with power because
man,
no matter how old Mike got or gets, Mike is still Mike Tyson. Like Michael Jordan is still Michael
come
Jordan.
on,
Like there are certain
bruh.
things that though age may restrict it, I still like there's a person who still got that. Like it's still that dog in them that's like
Man,
you don't mess with him.
little do you know the ones we used to talk about was MC Hammer. I was like,
Ah,
because a
bro.
lot of cats would think he was weak. We was like, weak?
Oh,
Like, run up on
oh.
Hammer if you want to.
As
Hammer,
Redman.
gangsters,
God,
thugs, New York. Boston, wherever the problem was, when he got tired of the plan, it was just let's go ahead and step outside then, bro. I
Uh,
mean, it's real when somebody came and just let you know. It's not that I couldn't stump you out. I'm willing to let you fight me. Come on outside.
bro,
I go, yeah, all that bravado falls off. All the niggas was like, hey, bro, you gonna go outside?
ask
Like you knew you was in trouble
ask
because it
Redman.
wasn't any, bruh. You get them hands, you can talk all that good, but you get
Nah,
them hands, and then guess what? You'll figure out real quick
real,
whose name you ain't gonna put in your mouth no more.
and
So a
there's
lot of people talk crazy, but
it.
mm-mm, they don't want
It's.
that.
I told you, monsters are simple. Monsters is like, hey,
Straight up.
we're gonna do what we're gonna do, but you know you know where that line is. Every monster has a line that you don't cross. And there's and the problem is that's where sayings like don't mistake my kindness for weakness comes in, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
cats think because I'm, you are just a docile person, like, oh man, we don't see him do this, that, and the other. We don't see this dude doing X, Y, and Z. Like, we've never seen him out of character. He can't get out of character. And it's like, nah. It's
Nah.
and we got taught. I got taught this young. My dad was like, "Hey, it ain't the dude who's doing all the talking. It ain't him. That ain't the dude you got to worry about. That
I
ain't the
told him.
dude. Yeah, that ain't the dude you got to worry about. I don't worry about that guy. Worry about the dude who ain't saying nothing. Worry about
Yep.
the dude who just standing in the corner. Worry about the dude who just standing in the corner, just looking at everybody, because you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what he thinking. You don't know. He's assessed, like the quiet dude has assessed the whole situation.
Yep.
Hey, I'm about to hit him. I'm about to hit him. If he grabs this, this is right. Like, people think that John Wick stuff and like Equalizer stuff is TV fiction. It's not.
No, that's real.
It's
That's
not.
real.
No.
It's
It's
the
called playing
quiet.
chess.
Yes, the quiet dude is analyzing everything. Like, and I'm
And
saying it because I've been the dude in that position where a dude is running his mouth. Like, and like, for instance, like my brother and I might be out somewhere and a dude running his mouth. We're sitting there, like my brother and I just sitting there, and I'm looking at, like, okay, if he move, what can I grab to hit this nigga with? Or if I can, like, what can I throw real quick? And then, like, so just in case anything happens, nigga, my brother and I are walking out of here. I don't care. We're walking out of here. Like, anybody who knows me, like, I am truthfully told, I am a pacifist. If I can avoid any type of violence, like, I'll argue with you all day, but if I can avoid any type of argument, I definitely will. But if we gonna go, I'm walking out. Now, one way or the
Bro.
other, Nick, I'm walking out. And whoever I'm with, we're walking out of there. We might limp a little
Oh,
bit.
man.
We might limp a little bit, but I can guarantee you, it's not gonna be us that night. We're gonna do our best not to be us. And a
I'm just
lot of
saying, God has blessed me to live long enough. I do not play fair. Do not start no mess.
boy,
Everything is a
I
weapon.
right.
Everything is a weapon.
What that dog say? If I ain't got a weapon, I'm gonna pick up a rock. Like, bruh,
Mm.
it's and I don't think cats nowadays. That's why I said men, and I think this is dope on the thing that what we say. Men are not complicated. Little boys
no.
are.
Oh
Definitely.
heck yeah.
Little boys are
Okay.
complicated. That's why
Now,
when
Little boys still like toys.
yeah,
Come
now, do
on.
it's
we now
They're
now
like
do we blame
collector's
that
items.
on the upbringing of being in a single parent household, or is it could
no.
possibly be in a two parent household with two parents that are still low functioning?
It's honestly, dude, it's a combination, and I will never. The sad part is we don't really necessarily know the the mixture of it, because you got people who come from two parent homes where they are loved by their parents. They are shown affection. They are given everything to succeed, and they're like, I don't want it. They want to
Mm-hmm.
go. They want to go rip and run the streets. They want to go
Mm-hmm.
do what they want to do because they seen it. It's just something that they seen, and this is what it is. Now, the reason I do get the data behind it to where they say, people in single parent homes, young men in single parent homes, just because of their mom, they may not um, see certain attributes on a regular basis. But if their father or a man is around to a certain extent, they can at least get ideas. I think so. It's a formula. I think I don't necessarily, but you don't.
Hmm.
It's one of those things where, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion, can't say because I know, like I said again, the data. But in my opinion, you really don't know because the people who come from a single parent home can be like, I want to break the cycle, and then there's people who come from two parent homes that's like, nigga, I just want to be this way. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's environment, it's nature and nurture. So it's like I don't know. What do y'all think? It's a
Uh,
complicated answer, I guess, for me.
Well,
uh,
or go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Aaron.
no, you sure? Okay. So I feel like you have to give parents a little bit. What I always say is if there's more than one kid, check both perspectives.
Mm,
Maybe somebody got it and somebody didn't.
yeah,
So if I see two children, even though they may have the same set of parents, they had two different experiences
true,
with those parents.
true.
So I give a little bit of a pass and say, okay, look, you might have not heard the right thing. Let's look at the other one. If number one or number two kind of got it together, I'm gonna be like, okay. So the message was clear. You either
Mm,
weren't listening or you didn't care. Now you can find yourself mad at the world if that's what you want to be, and you can stay in that. And then what you'll do is you'll try to find company because misery always looks for company. There are just some men that carry around enough misery just circumventing life is what they
mm,
do. They pacify good people because they always say, well, I don't want to complicate your life. Well, brother, that's exactly what you finna do because you
yeah.
carry around misery.
Mm-hmm.
However you were raised, however that conversation has to go, because it's different for a lot of people. I always think that past 25, don't nobody really believe you the same way anymore. Like
Yes,
people
sir.
begin to listen to the
Yes, sir.
story, but they objectively want to know, well, okay, but you already knew that. What did you do with that information?
Yes, sir.
Usually, what we can determine is who matured. Now, the maturity is not the decision, it's the result of a decision. I can't determine your intellect being great if you ain't never done or said nothing.
Right.
So how am I to determine something when the only thing you show me is your potential? You ain't never left the porch. You've never even tried. There are
Yeah.
some people they can only be gangster because the gangsters around. They
Yeah.
can never be gangster by themselves because they're not the willing.
Mm-mm.
I always tell people criminals are two things: willing and moving at all times. It doesn't have to be in the right direction. It's just willing and moving. I go,
Consistent.
but if you cannot move with perspective, if you cannot move with purpose, you're pointlessly, aimlessly trying to get attention. And what usually happens is everything that hunts listens for sound. So if you think you can make a lot of noise and not get the attention, well, keep living, keep living. Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe you haven't felt that yet. Maybe you haven't had a big brother moment like, you know what, I was
Mm.
going to shoot you. Let me talk to you. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you can meet some lions along the way. And
I
lions
you.
don't give passes.
Yeah.
Bears don't give passes.
It. Go ahead, Walker. We ain't got yours.
Go ahead, Walt.
Oh, no, I was sitting back listening because I mean, you see, in certain situations, you have the I hate to say it, but it's true. You know how the entertainment of your lifestyle seems more fun than mine because mine is based around structure. You know, there's
Mm,
some
Well,
kids that live in that bubble, and that's the reason why they choose to go out and do stuff that they do in the streets. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
come on.
Because living in a two-parent household myself, I was sheltered from a lot of stuff, right? But
Mm-hmm.
see, I call it. I really came up with this myself because this is what I thought about my childhood. My parents put me in what they call what I think of as a slingshot effect, right? So it was
Hmm.
like, hide you from this. Stay away, stay away, stay away. It's like pull you steady pulling me back, pulling me back.
Right.
But when I get a certain age, you keep telling me I'm gonna have to make my own decisions. So when it get to that age or closer to that age, I start testing what decisions I can make that you're gonna let me get away with. You know what I mean? So around that age of 16, 15 to 18, I'm making adult decisions and doing stuff that I probably shouldn't be involved in
Yep.
because you kept me away from it. But now the doors are open. I done went from, a structured elementary school to where all the teachers are more hands on, right? Associated with the parents, everything, everybody's on one accord, right? Then I went
Right.
to a private Catholic school, I guess you want to call it, for about 6 to 9 months, but you found out there that it was more going on inside of that school. It was a good school on the outside, but on the inside, it was a whole different ball game. So
How
when
it
you
tends to
find
be.
out,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where I found out where my left and right start. That's where I found out my left and rights really worked on people that was bigger than me. And let's say that, you right. So
Mhm.
now I'm considered a problem. You see what I'm saying?
Ah.
So you see what I'm saying? I went from being a
Yeah.
good kid, and then I got into a couple situations in school that turned me into the problem. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not the problem. I'm just the reaction to the problem the whole time. That's what it was. I was just a reaction to a problem. Okay. So now that I'm considered a problem wherever I go, every time my name gets brought up into something negative, I'm the igniter. So now I'm
Ah.
like, okay, well, since you put that on me, let me
You.
pick up my
There it
cross
is.
and
Right.
walk
Let me
with it.
let me
There
carry
it
You
it.
see,
Let me
is.
carry
you
it.
go
There it is.
exactly.
Let me
So
carry it.
now,
You
okay,
started painting the war paint. That's what it
Hey.
was. Uh huh. They
exactly. So
want me
now
to
that
fight.
yeah, so now that you put me in that situation, now I'm gonna wear the jersey. This, like you said, put on the war paint. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So and now here I am, the sling, you done let go. Now, pew, I'm gone. Now you trying to catch up with a rock that you just shot out of a slingshot. You ain't gonna catch that rock
Momentum, sir.
until it hits something. You see what I'm saying? So what did I start? I started hitting walls. Boom.
Mm, 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 mm,
Boom.
Hmm.
Like, man, this is not, it's like you steady picking the rock up. Don't put it in the slingshot no more. Just look, hey, sit here. What does a rock do when you sit it somewhere? It stays there.
Stays
So you
there.
see what I'm saying? So it was like,
Boy.
so in my perspective, a lot of parents that keep their children away from things that they don't want to see. It's like, remember when we was kids, your mom cover your eyes when something bad come on the TV or something you don't
That,
want to see, but you still get that peek through.
Hmm.
You
you know what
still
I'm
peeking
saying?
through them.
Yep.
Exactly. You still peeking through because you still want to see what's out there, right? So now that you got the opportunity to get out there, now you out there and you start liking
Woo,
it until you don't like it. Then you start seeing reality for what it really is. Oh,
bro.
they don't care about you being 17. They will kill you. When you see people your age getting killed, like not car accidents, not hit by a car, not having
Mm-mm.
a illness, a terminal illness that we didn't know about. I'm talking about literally shot and killed, or beaten
Hmm.
and killed, or stabbed and killed. And it's like, wait a minute, this is real life.
Yes,
This is
sir.
what we got to look for. Okay, cool. Remember on Barbershop when Cedric the Entertainer was at the Black Panther movement, and he was
Some of
like,
us gonna
"They're
die.
gonna kill
Some of
us,
them
and some
gonna
of
die.
us gonna die, and some of them gonna die." He was like, "What?
Whoa.
Wait
Whoa,
a minute,
whoa,
whoa,
wait,
whoa,
whoa,
wait
wait,
a
wait,
minute,
wait.
whoa!"
Whoa.
He slid out the back door.
Yeah,
You
nah,
see what I'm
Bruh.
saying?
He
these
said them
fools,
fools is
these
crazy.
fools is crazy.
Them fools is crazy.
Them fools is
But
crazy.
see, the sad part about that is some people don't get to that light bulb. That light bulb don't go off fast enough for
Straight
certain
up.
people. And the only
Yep.
way they get the results or find out the truth about what they should have been running away from is a casket or a jail cell for life. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
it took me to get in certain situations where it was nobody there to reach out for me or help me but my mother, father, and my wife. I'm talking about everybody, your friend, everybody,
Oh yeah.
your homie, they love you to death. But
Mm-hmm.
There.
Negro, let me
Uh,
tell you, when
till you
chips
get,
is down and back
bruh,
against the wall,
Oh,
nigga,
when
bruh,
you
you
stand
got,
on that defending table,
bro. If you
bruh.
lucky
you by
enough, you got.
yourself.
If you lucky enough, you got 4 people on staff in your corner: God, your parents, and your woman. If that applies to you,
If that's a if.
if that
That's
If
applies to
that
you,
and that depends on the relationship you got with all of them.
look,
That's,
you hear me?
oh, what you
nigga,
say?
that
At
depends
that
on,
Fractured
point,
ain't fractured.
bruh. That's
Do
but
you
even
feel
at
it?
the end of the, but even at the end of the day, when the lights go off and the phones go off, and ain't no mail to read that's current to the day or the time that you in right now, all you got is you.
mm-hmm.
And that's when you realize that's when you realize you start rolling that tape back in your head. My daddy sure enough told me this. Now look at me sitting here looking up this concrete wall, and I gotta sit here and look at the star through a bar. Man, come on now. Everything that you was told to watch out for, to stay away from, that's when you reflect on it. And that's when it
Mm-mm.
clicks. Boom. That's when the light bulb comes on. My sixth grade teacher, Mrs. Thomas, she's ding, the light is on. She's from Trinidad. That's what she, bro. When she could see it in our faces when she give us a problem on the board, and we start lighting up. Ding, the light is on. That's when the light popped on. When it was just me and the walls and God. That was it.
Because it's silence now.
That.
It's silence.
Silence
It's
is
silent.
loud, bro.
That's why I
Woo!
tell people the best thing that you can be is
Ugh.
quiet, man. The older that you get, man, the more quiet you should learn how to be. Because
Thank you.
it's the again, the loudest nigga gets hit first. When
What I
you
say earlier, the
it,
loudest, emptiest wagon make the most
most
noise.
noise, and and a lot of folk don't realize quiet gives perspective. It gives you a chance to observe. It gives you the ability to sit here and say, okay, what's going on? What should I think about? Like, is this worth it? Silence gives you time to think.
Okay, so while you say that, let's double back to the topic. Does silence make you more complex, or does talking too much make you more complex as a male? Because I feel like even being silent,
Mm.
if people don't know what to expect, that really brings
It
out the complexity of us.
No, I will even say it in this way. It doesn't matter how people look at you.
Okay,
When you do your my thing is when you do your thing and you handling your business as a man, it don't matter what folk think about you. Because you gotta think we got families, bro. We gotta do what we gotta
hmm
do to make sure that we are that our families together because we are the heads of our families. We are the responsible.
Facts.
We are the ones who have to be responsible for everything. And that's the thing I always tell people. When God gave Adam dominion, he gave Adam that comes with responsibility and accountability. You are accountable for everything that comes behind you. You are accountable for the things, for the job that God ordained you to have. You are responsible for that. When everything falls, when Eve partook in the fruit, nothing happened. God knew. He wasn't blind.
Facts.
He saw it. But the reality was she didn't have the responsibility and the accountability of being the head. She was the follower. When did God come into the garden? After Adam. So it don't matter what's going on. It don't matter what everybody else is doing. When you are the head of everything, when you are the leader and you are the one who is accountable for it all, it starts with you. So when you got to sit here, I don't care what the next person think because that next person may not have my responsibility or they may not look at the responsibility the way that I look at it. They may not take it as serious as I do. They may not care as much as I care. They might be comfortable with being like, "Hey, man, my girl could take care of all of this, man, or I'll leave this over here because such and such is going to pick this up." They may not be willing to carry the burdens that we happily take on as men. Like that's why I say men. There is always a difference when I say the word men, I'm talking about accountable, responsible, duty bound, honored. That's what I talk about when I say men. So there's another nigga's not going to be looking at that when he's a little boy.
Nah.
He's not going to look at that. So when you sit here and say Oh man, this nigga saying something and this nigga is making it. Nah, dude, that's you. I don't have to carry. I don't have to carry your idea of me. I got to carry what I know I got to carry. So what you think about
Yeah,
me is meaningless. How many niggas have we called soft? How many niggas have we called square? How many niggas have we called whipped for doing the very job that they were supposed to be doing? And it wasn't until we got into their positions. It was not until we started maturing and taking on all of the responsibilities and accountabilities that we should have that we sit here and go, now I understand this nigga. Now I understand what he was doing. He wasn't soft, he wasn't crazy, he wasn't weak, he was none of those things. He wanted to rage. He wanted to quit. He wanted to just snap and whoop everybody, not because he couldn't get away. Like he just knew and took the time to go, I don't feel like this is worth it. I don't feel like this is going. I what if he took 2 seconds to think? What will it cost me?
mm,
That's why I look at Mike. Like I said, Mike Tyson. I look at Mike. Look at what Mike was in the '90s. Look at what Mike Tyson is now. Mike is still Mike, but
very much so.
the way that he approaches things is different. The way
Sure,
the monster is still there. The monster's still there, but he's like, I've just learned how to tame it better. Shaq gave one of the greatest things. He said one of the best things I ever heard. He said, I don't do anything that can cost me my money. He said, because I'm taking care of my mother, I'm taking care of my sister, I'm taking care of multiple people. He said, I don't do anything that's going to cost my mother her house. He said, so I don't drink out in public. I try to stay away from as many scandals as I possibly can. There's certain places I don't go. There's certain things that I don't do because it will cost me my mother's house. I'm not calling that nigga lame. I don't. Anybody can call that nigga
no,
whatever you want to. You can call the dude like that whatever you want to. But it ain't until you get in his position that you understand why. It ain't until you get into that position that you understand why. And a person who ain't in that position, they can call you whatever they want to call you.
true.
it don't it don't change what you gotta do. It don't
Well,
change. It don't
well,
change.
But you know what? That's so true. And the crazy thing about that, that's a lesson that one can learn, even if you didn't learn it from an actual human. If you ever watched a movie called A Bronx Tale, that's where Robert De
surely.
Niro told his son Colargino, whatever however you say his name, but he was like, son, you think Sonny's the tough guy? This Sonny's the mobster at the end of the corner, the alpha male that we spoke about earlier. You
Yes,
think he's
sir.
a tough guy? He's running numbers, he's gambling, he's killing people, he's doing this, that, and the third. That's the tough guy. You think that's who you want to be like? No. The real tough guy gets up and goes to work every day and provides for his family every day and protects his family. That's the real tough guy. And see,
Hmm.
that's the thing that a lot of us that were in the streets, but not of the streets, we found all that out the hard way after the fact when nobody that you ran with in the streets or that was in the streets with you came to your aid. You
Hmm.
see what I'm
Mm,
saying? And even if it's family, it's still the same thing. It don't change it. Just because we blood and the loyalty don't change. You know what I'm saying? Just because we blood don't mean the loyalty is the same. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
facts.
in certain situations, a lot of us had to find ourselves in them dark rooms, sleeping next to other people that look just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Forcefully, because
mm,
that's just the way the chips fell on you. You know what I'm saying? Now you find out the hard way that nobody's there for you like they say they was. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to bounce back and have this opportunity to tell these stories because they stuck in there for the rest of their life based
facts.
Hmm.
off of somebody's love, air quote, love and loyalty for you at the time in place of you doing the stupid stuff that you was doing. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, it's always gonna say free my bros, free my bro, but
Hmm.
you just gonna be a part of another long list of niggas that they say free or RIP to. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So now you just another notch on the list of people that they talk about in past tense all the time because your behind is no longer gone. Yeah, you t-shirt bound. You see what
Hmm?
I'm saying? So when you run
That's
into
it.
those situations, like I said, the real tough guy is the one that gets up and goes to work every day and has to deal with the way of the world, the weight of the world on their shoulders, and how people will just talk to you any kind of way because they sign your checks and you don't sign your own checks. So
Hmm.
now you got to deal with they crap. Now, and then not only
Come on.
that, somebody on their way to work that just probably got the worst news of their life in their household got to go to the job that they hate and deal with the supervisor that they don't like, and now they in the car mad at the whole world, and you decide you want to get in front of them and do 50 and a 65. So now you done took their meter up another 100 degrees, and now they finna crash out.
Yeah.
So
Boy.
I'm saying it's all about the lack of self control for certain individuals, or just the lack of self control over your life when problems
Period.
hit the fan because you wasn't taught. I ain't gonna say trained. You wasn't taught how to deal with nothing. So now everything
Right.
comes crashing down on you, and you feel like the only way to fix your problems is to give somebody else a problem. And here we go
Mm.
back to the complexity of the men that's growing up in the newer era, where you don't have a parent that can slap the crap out of you every now and again to keep you in line. And see, that was the
Well,
difference between us and everybody else that's coming behind us. You got to think when they took the power from the parents right around Adrian's 17th birthday. That's when parents was no
mm,
longer able to slap the crap out of their kids and not go to jail for it. I remember back around that time, you can get the crap slapped out of you. Call the police if you want to. They gonna stand there and watch your mama smack you again.
Bruh.
You see what I'm saying? So therefore,
tell you I
I
don't
don't
see
think.
a problem. Have a good
Yeah,
evening.
No.
exactly. So now that they done took
But
the power from the parents, that's another thing. I mean, I just be coming up with these little acronyms, sayings. But they took the power from the parents. And now parents can't even, tap their sons upside the back of their head to tighten them up. Hey, get in line.
nah, it
Get in
can.
line, Joker.
I ain't snitching.
No,
Knock
I
that.
ain't saying that
Knock
you
that little.
snitching, but see,
Look.
here's the thing, though.
Knock that little out.
No, but see, the problem is it ain't you about snitching. It's about the fact that those things come up in conversation. Just like when we was kids, man. When we was kids, they be like, "Man, what happened, man? My mama killed me, and then, man, she beat the crap out of me, man. She whooped my, you know what I'm saying." So now it's a
Boy,
conversation in school. But nowadays, you got kids that don't. Their parents won't touch them with a whistle.
Bruh.
You see what I'm saying? And that will be the one that go tell the teacher, and then the teacher will been to pitch a kid in the corner and ask him, so what happened? Oh, my mom just
Go.
got a little upset, but it's okay. She always hit me upside the head. She what? Oh my
Go.
God. So now they done called the people because your mama constantly hitting you upside the head. Now
Call
they
him.
come
gonna
on.
sit there and accuse your
Call him.
mama of trying to give you brain damage.
Call him.
You see what I'm saying? So
Call them.
it's
No,
like,
I'm serious. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Call these niggas.
but
It's
see, that's the thing though.
we
Nowadays, all the
call them.
kid got to do is have a conversation with another kid,
And
and then
and
that kid go
and
tell us a
and
person,
that's
and next thing you know, you in handcuffs because of he say she
and
say.
and and that's why. And sometimes, bro,
It's
you
like you got
gotta
a better shot at getting out of domestic violence
dude.
case.
Sometimes you gotta go ahead. Sometimes you gotta be like, look, I was willing to whoop my kids. I was willing to whoop my kids with a belt, so the police officer don't whoop him with a baton, stun gun, or shoot this little nigga. Where that's and I think that's and I mean and that's where I said not complicated. Us growing up uncomplicated. At some points, like what we was talking about earlier, men got something taken out of them because they knew that there was a responsibility that you got to be prepared for. You don't get to be you cannot be the soft one as the leader. You can have a softer side. You can have a soft-ish side. But in all honesty, I even want to say it like this: my wife is the soft side. Like my wife is supposed to be my soft side. Like it's the stuff that I don't necessarily have time to be that she takes on. That's the role of it. That's why I do think that we supposed to have two parent households. It's because okay, if you got a father who is, you know,
The
the
disciplinarian,
disciplinarian, the father that's supposed to be the
mama's
protector, the
got to be
provider.
the
Yeah,
nurturer.
she's the nurturer. That's why it works. So it's
Hmm.
like I think that's where we've lost that because now everybody is trying to be. You got one person trying to be three things and it don't work, and
Mm,
then you're
mm.
trying to sit here and say, okay, well if you put your hands on the child, you can't whoop the child because if the child go and have this conversation, then but it's like, nah, I need to. There's certain stuff that I got to do, and I got to take that
Hmm.
chance because you may not understand it today but I'm preparing you for tomorrow. That's what you used to have. Hey, look, son, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurt you. hey son, I really don't want to do this. I really don't. But this is a lesson. This is a lesson that you gotta learn. And I'm gonna be honest with you, nigga. Getting a butt whooping makes you smarter. I don't know it. I don't know about the next nigga, but getting a proper butt whooping makes you smart because nigga, it make you weigh your options here. It makes you think about the
Where you
consequences. It do, bro. Like think about it. Do I really want to sneak out the house today? Like is that butt whooping really worth it?
I'm just
Like
saying, man.
like nigga, do I really want to do I really want to do this like do I really want to do this?
Right.
Because
hold
it
on,
makes you
hold on.
smarter.
Allow me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I watched my father. My father was, in all aspects, to me, a good man. But he struggled as a father because he had a lot of habits that he brought into fatherhood that complicated his life. But the one thing I could tell you that was probably a theme or a thread was don't think frivolously and don't put yourself in a position where other people can use the ammunition you give them against you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've dummied that down to a conversation when it's far more dangerous and far more potent than that. You being frivolous, just simply you think you're dominant. Well, okay, you can think that till you meet the right female.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to be the testimony. It's almost impossible to be the character witness.
Mm-hmm.
You find more and more that the who you are isn't really being designed yet. It's still being chipped away at. And as you build that character, what you need to realize is if you use frivolous things to build, you will not have the great leadership or the great device of showing people who you are. You'll be just shown as a plaything. Like, oh, here
Mm-hmm.
come this joke. Watch this thing. You got to see this one. We all know them. We remember the names because they were outgoing or charismatic, but they didn't have ambition. What's the point of being seen when you're seen you have nothing to show?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of being heard when you ain't got nothing to say?
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to be shut down to understand what it is to be quiet. It's
Yep.
not just being quiet. You have to learn why.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone took what you thought you were and used it against you, I'll give you an example. There was a black male arguing and a white male arguing. They were arguing about poverty. And the black male said, well, sir, my parents didn't always have good jobs and we didn't always come up. He said, did you grow up under a tin roof? Did you grow up with an alcoholic in the house? He goes, let me tell you something. Just the fact that your parents didn't have a child out of wedlock actually meant that you were doing pretty good. He goes, no, my father was not an alcoholic. He was a drinker. He was a drug addict, man. He just didn't play those games. They were literally trying to get it together. But sometimes he was good at it. Sometimes he wasn't. I learned as a kid that there were some things that I just wouldn't grow up to do. That there were
Mm-hmm.
certain levels I just would never touch. There's no sense in talking about, oh, well, I feel a certain way. I go, I don't know. I don't think my parents and my mother, especially, wasn't one of those people to allow you to dwell in it. She wasn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna let you keep your little pity party. She didn't care nothing about all that. It was just the way you grew up. And you can now share that perspective and not run from it. That's why I tell people, I'm like, once you can master certain things about yourself, you
Mm-hmm.
don't get hurt by the things you lost along the way. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the fire, it's not desire I lost along the way. It's just sometimes I let common sense rule out and I let quietness be my steel. I don't have to go out loud. I don't have to. It was never anything to be violent. Violent does not take compulsion, but it does cost you more than what it's worth sometimes.
Yeah.
Just because you got away with it doesn't mean you can go to sleep. Guilt is amazingly difficult to get over.
Yeah.
And just because you think you tough is great, but tough can die. That's why a lot of us, man, we do have a high level of suicide. It is because of the world's complexity. It is not because of who we are. It is because when you try to eat, sometimes you get choked. And that's what I've learned. Sometimes you got to slow that thing down. Find yourself first before you find out what you think you're worth. Because that's just wasting
Okay.
your time. You'll find it in somebody else's game. But that's my perspective.
So if it's the world's complexity around the male species that makes them hard to understand, would that be because the male species at hand or that are being affected by this situation is could it be the reason that they weren't taught enough about the world and its complexity around them? And that's why they
I
end up being the complex men instead of a masculine man. Instead, they consider themselves alphas. Like, because I'm steady
well, I
bending
think
back to the statement here at
yeah,
hand about me and
it's
men.
data. It's data. You get lost in data. Data is easy. It's like being distracted. Data is
Because
easy to get lost in,
because
but
I
it
feel
doesn't
like
mean you should live your life by it.
see, but I kind of feel like the only reason out that data speaks to that makes a male complex is being raised by a female with female feelings and female perspective on life alone.
Mm.
And then you have men that are sensitive that they don't respond to things as a male should. Like, okay, so for example, somebody that could easily be triggered by being called to be a male. You call one of these young brothers that think they out there like that. You call them a B,
Right?
and they ready to kill you over a 5 letter word. You see what I'm saying?
You better believe
And
it.
then they go do that because they were shown growing up to react to that word because they were raised by a woman. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that moms don't do a good job, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the catalyst to the problem. And I know it's too much for us to narrow it down, but
Fair.
could possibly be the main catalyst to the problem. Young men that are being raised by emotionally damaged women, and they become emotionally damaged young men, and then they grow up with this soft pretense that they're actually a man, but they act out like a girl.
All I can say is that women discipline with their emotions. So when
Okay, and
you are
now you
dealing
have
with a
young
woman,
men that do the
when
same
you
thing.
get a woman to discipline and she is disciplining you with emotion, not logic. Now there are
Hmm.
women who they have that ability to be logic, be wise,
Right,
show strength.
Mm,
But there's some women that don't have the ability to keep all that in discipline because the world hits them in the face too. So when they
mhm,
get to disciplining you, they get to
mhm,
disciplining you with everything they've been carrying.
mhm,
God help
right,
you if they don't have a good rapport with your father. God help you if they don't like the man that gave them to you, so to speak.
exactly,
That's going to make life a lot harder for that child. Period.
exactly.
Because
So
what
does
I've
that
seen some women do is they even separate it down to the baby daddy they like the most, and that's the kid they treat differently. And I'd be like,
exactly?
Jesus, it ain't even.
Yeah,
He's not even being taught by his lessons. He's being taught by somebody else's lessons.
it,
So
exactly.
imagine what he's gonna grow up and be.
So
You know,
does that equal out to be a complex male that with a
if
false
I think
pretense of being an
again,
alpha?
it isn't him. It's the world he's been tossed into. He can't.
it,
He's not gonna decide. He's like my mother, right? That's the perspective. That's his world. Now imagine
Hmm.
if his world is devilish and scheming, that he can never get better, that he's never told that he's got greatness in him. You get beat up. And then of course, when I see her get taken advantage of, I try to speak to it. She may say something to me as if stay in a child's place. Well, hold on.
Hmm.
You gave me adult situations to stare at,
mhm,
but I'm supposed to stay in a child's place.
yeah,
Hold on.
Exactly.
When that nigga beating on you, I'm supposed to jump up and come save you, but stay in a child's place.
Right.
The perspective is not him being confused. He's being thrown into a world of confusion, and he's only got a limited amount of data to come off of. What's he supposed to do?
I,
You're asking him a lot, and you're asking a lot of him. And plus, by the time he learns a little something, it probably is about what 25% garbage,
yeah,
2% good,
Yep.
30% TV. You feel me? So there's so
And most
many
of the time that
perspectives,
would lead someone
unfortunately,
to the prison.
because the reality of making a decision is not the same as listening to a conversation about a decision. When it's you, when your finger's on the trigger, it's a little
Hmm.
bit different. You know, We could all get hyped. We could all get upset. Hell, I'm pretty sure each and every one of us has felt murderous in your heart about something.
Mhm.
But it's crazy if you were to listen to somebody and they go, "Yeah, I only feel like killing myself though," and you'd be like, "What?"
Right.
That's when it becomes an issue that you go, "Well, I didn't allow myself to go that way. Why do you? Well, how did you find yourself there? Why do you keep finding yourself there? Why? Because they never learn how to manage the data. They never learn how to see perspective. It's not their fault per se, but if you keep traveling down this, you realize the end game is you killing yourself, right? That's the end game, and yet there's people that can't get out that car. They can't get out of that mindset. They can't let it go, and it's like I could put you in China, and you would still feel the same amount of pressure. You would still feel the same amount of loneliness, but yet you're around people who love you and support you, and you can't feel it. There is a much deeper problem in that complexity, but I'm not getting to the spiritual side. But let's be real, there is a gravity that pulls people down in this world. And if you ain't careful, by the time you look up, you won't even see the floor.
Yeah.
Just my thought.
I would say if he never comes into the knowledge of what he needs to know, he'll never grow. The
He'll never go.
it's a like you said, a woman is emotional. That's why I say it's a nurturing thing. It's a thing to where a man is a discipline. A man helps you grow straight. Like this,
That
these are the things that you need to know. This is the stuff you can. That's why they say a woman cannot raise a man. It's because she does not understand the pressure and again the responsibility and accountability. To go back to that, she doesn't understand it. There's a lot of women. A strength is different to a woman than it is to a man.
surely
Most women try to imitate men's strength in what they think it is, but they don't actually know what it is. So, do they have the ability to, help him grow? Yes. There are some men who are raised by women that grow up to be well adjusted, but she has to be well adjusted. There's a lot of stuff that she has to hide. There's a lot of things that she has to have control over. There's a lot of variables to that. And if she's none of those things, he's in trouble. And
he's in trouble.
and the other part to that is, there are when you say taught, some of these young dudes are taught. They just don't know how to apply. Nobody's ever
Well,
it's almost like I gave you a roadmap, but I never taught you how to navigate. It's I
Right.
gave you directions. I gave you directions on how to get somewhere, but you don't actually know how to get there because you don't know the applicable skills to use that map. Some cats don't know how to apply it. Some cats can get. I mean, literally, they can lay it down. Somebody can be like, "This is what you gotta do." Boom, 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 boom. And these cats would be like, "Don't know how to do that. Don't know how to use that. Don't know how to make it make sense." That's why, again, when we go to silence, it starts to be like, "Oh, it's like that." Like you said, the light comes on. It's oh,
well,
you know,
the light
Hmm.
comes on.
now, because it's silence, nobody is yelling at me, nobody's hollering at me. I don't actually have the pressure of being in the situation. I just have the ability to sit down and look at the situation and now figure out how to apply it. That's where I think it is. It's a complex thing of there's so much to it. Are you taught? Like, when it is just a single mother, who does she have around her? Does she have uncles around him? Do he have good cousins around him? What's a male influence? If Because I'm gonna be real, let's be honest about it. There's some male influences that ain't crap because they raised by the same
Come on.
exact situation that the youngest dude is raised in, where there's, they might not have had a father, or like you talked about, the father being a drunk, or he's not being the best version of himself, or they don't even
Come
know
on.
who their daddy is, or they told that this is their dad, but come to find out, 20 years later, they find out that this nigga was never their dad, and mama was tipping, and they tried to blame daddy. Like, it's a lot,
Come on.
because stories, let's be real, especially in black communities, and I'm sure it happens everywhere, but let's be honest into what we know. In a lot of black communities, man, stories either don't get told, or a revised version of that story get told. And when we finally get the truth of what happened or what's going on, it destroys a lot of stuff. It messes up a
True.
whole bunch of stuff.
True. True.
And
Very
so
true.
we have to, I think where it comes in is everybody doing better. It's the easiest thing to say. Like, the answer is often easy, but it's the hardest thing to apply, i.e., complicated, but uncomplicated, but super complicated. We have to do better in the sense of, like you said, being honest, not leading with emotion, not leaning to our own understanding, but doing the right thing in the right situations at the right time. We just have to be better.
Right time.
Where now, how do you apply that? Because I'm gonna be, it's sad to say this, but we think right is subjective, when in reality it's not. Right is
No.
right is right. It's not subjective.
Right is right has reasoning.
Right.
Wrong abandons reason.
And so that's where it is. I'm like, wisdom to me. I was talking, and I said this to my wife. I said, wisdom knows its bounds, but stupidity is endless. It's wisdom knows where it fits. Wisdom knows where it goes. It doesn't stretch no further than where it needs to be. But stupid,
Facts.
but stupid. Oh, that's boundless. Emotional, that's
Yeah, because
boundless.
it's frivolous.
Yeah,
It's frivolous.
there's no limiters on those things.
Man,
And
you know my favorite saying is you can't fix stupid, not even with duct tape.
nope,
For real.
you can't.
For real.
And unfortunately, that's where a lot of folk are. Like, when you hear these stories on TikToks where people are like, my mom told me my dad was dead, only to find out my dad was alive, and he was looking for me. He's been trying to see me. He's been trying to get with me, but my mom hid him from me. That's Jack. You got people who are
It
like,
is.
you got people who will sit here and be like, man, I didn't want this nigga on the birth certificate. I had this, this person over here, was willing to be a whole lot better. And, this happened. It's like, why? You're playing with lives here. We got to
For
quit.
real.
Like, a lot of folk got to quit playing with lives and that stuff, because that stuff don't help. That messes people up too. That's
The
Oh
gravity
yeah,
of that
it does.
situation is so damaging. It's
bruh.
beyond. It's beyond. It's
It's
beyond our
crazy.
comprehension. For real.
It is crazy how many. That's why the sad part is, because be, people try to make men inherently evil. It's like, men are not inherently
True.
evil. Yeah, we do some jacked up stuff. Like, we got our hands get a little bloody, but it's
Come
like, at the same time, it's not inherently. It's not automatic. It's not that we're just automatically going to destroy everything that's around us. But and nobody ever looks at the woman to go, yeah, she contributed to X, Y, and Z. A lot of folk don't look at it that way. A lot of folk look at a man to be in control of his reactions. Like, you, that's where now you see the conversations a lot of the times where women are like, yeah, if a woman put her hands on a man and she beats him up or whatever, a man should never put his hands on a woman. And then you go, why? Oh, well, because he's stronger. He should be able to take a woman putting her hands on him and beating on him and hitting him with a frying pan and spitting on him and doing all of that. He needs to be in full control of his emotions. And it's like,
Well,
but
okay.
she's not in full control of nothing. And he's not supposed to hit her back because he's stronger, but she's acting like she didn't know that he was stronger when she put her hands on him.
Again, did your reality just find out reasoning? Well,
Yeah.
reasoning getting hit is a lot different than reasoning believing you shouldn't get hit.
Yeah,
Because
it's
getting hit in the mouth changes your perspective. I
A lot.
promise.
What Mike say? Everybody got a plan till you
Till
get
they
hit
get hit in
in
the
the
mouth.
mouth.
Hey, when
Eh,
you, I mean, Bill Burr once made the joke, women would be more nicer if they hit each other in the mouth more. I'm like, I bet you they would be.
right. Well,
But in
when
the end,
you see what they doing now, they're starting to take like just talking about child stuff. Like now, states are starting to do mandatory DNA testing.
in Indianapolis, if you have a baby, and regardless if you request it or not, they're gonna do it if
Yeah,
both parties are present.
and they're saying
If
now they're saying now that they're starting to find out. A lot of these women were lying on dudes. They're starting to find
come
out
well,
now. They starting to find out.
I know we've talked about this, but I'll say this one time again. Women have the privilege of time in the regard that once you become Gigi, baby, you almost untouchable. You can't
Mm,
bring up grandma past. Try it if you want
mm,
to. You gonna walk the room through a
you
storm
they wh-
because that is a matriarch. That is
mm,
not your woman. That is not your That's Gigi. Baby, that's grandma. Grandma
you
gets a certain respect, but granddaddy, please,
whoop him.
there, granddaddy better not sneeze wrong.
That,
Somebody gonna bring it up. Granddaddy was looking. He was
that
acting out.
that's why I say it's inherent. Men if men are inherently evil, then that means women are inherently good, and that means when you live by that notion, it doesn't matter what they do. It's like, well, well, you got to understand. No, wrong is wrong. That's why, and I think that's why a lot of stuff is complicated. Is because when you try to make something inherent across the board, when it's not that, you don't really know what to do with it after that. When he's,
Well, as soon as you find out yours is damaged, right? That's when it hits home.
yeah,
When your heroes have scars, when your matriarchs have a past. Those are the things for some reason people go, oh, I can't believe. Well, hold on. Wait. Because some of these people will tell you the truth. They just know that you're not ready to hear it. So they
hmm
try to do their best to give you the impression that you can handle. Because if they told you too much,
I
you almost would want to talk to them the same
I
way.
don't see, but I don't know. I think a lot of folk don't tell you the truth because they can't handle telling you the truth. They can't,
Well,
like you said, they most people want to protect the way you look at them. When you look at somebody as a superhero, but you find out this is just a regular, when you find it was exciting to find out Clark Kent was Superman, but it's a
facts.
different thing to find out Superman was Clark Kent. Like it's
Well,
he's
there
not.
the loss of the facade, true,
Yeah, it's
right?
and so a lot of folk will walk into a room and be like, "Yeah, man, I thought that my grandfather was the issue. I thought my grandfather had kids all over the wazoo. That's all we would talk about. Granddaddy left grandma because he had another family down there, and da 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 da. Da. Well, come to find out, grandma was sleeping with the milkman, grandma was sleeping with the mailman, and she was sleeping with the butcher. So uncle, auntie, and we got an uncle Junior, but he ain't granddaddy's. He's the butcher's. And now
Well,
when granddaddy found out, he was just like, "All right, I'm gone." Or he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do
well,
me. I'm gonna do me." And then
the,
she was like, "Well, he hurt me." It's like, "No, tell what you did first, Granny."
come on, but see, they'll listen, and I don't mean no harm. I've just been in a situation where sometimes you'll listen to grandma with empathy, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't find sympathy when you listen to grandpa, because in that aggression nature, when we try to train people with aggression, it's so funny how we want them to put that down when we talking. I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not how
That's not how it
aggression
work.
works. That's not how
Yeah.
it works.
It-
When you're looking at a man and you taught me to be aggressive towards men, I'm gonna look at you that same way.
you
And don't show me no weakness. Don't
you
let me think I can call you out.
you can't
Oh,
teach
God help you, because
you can't teach me to attack and
once
then
you
get mad when I
fracture,
do it. Yeah.
come on,
You
come on.
can't
You
you
can't
can't
teach me how to throw a right cross and then get
yeah.
mad when you get hit with one.
Right. You
Come
you
on, that's
you
how this works.
you can't teach me the counter and then get mad when I hit you with it. That's just
Come on, bro.
there's nothing that you can do with that. You gotta eat it. And then you want to be, well, I'm the teacher.
Because you got
Yeah.
out here playing. Come on.
You
We
taught
got out
me.
here playing. You put the slingshot in my hand and then said, "Well, just make sure you use it responsibly." Bet
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah.
But then you mad because you're in the crosshairs?
That's
Well, hold
how
on, brother. It ain't like I hit you frivolously.
is
It's
the
just that when it comes to that,
it's the classic movie. Well, I trained you. I didn't train you to go against me. I trained you to go against everybody else. I trained you to go against this. Yeah, but you fit the criteria. Oh, yeah, no, but I'm still me. It's like, nah, you got it. Either you're going to be right. That's what I said. Either you're going to do right, or you're not. There's nothing else to it. And I think that's just
fact.
where it is. I think that's where a lot of folk complicate us. Is because everybody has an idea of what a man is supposed to be. If you ever pay attention, that men have a criteria, and then women have a criteria, and
Ugh.
most men's criteria for each other is pretty simple: provide, protect, handle your business, and be out the way. That's most niggas. Like that's most of our criteria. But where we have and I think this answers Walt's question, where things got complicated is because, and this is sad to say it, but it's the only way I know how to say it, is that women started trying to make up a fictional character and started defining actual people by that. You start a lot of
Hmm.
women started making up these, well, if he's a real man, he wouldn't do this. Like, yeah, I might smack him and spit on him, but he's just gonna smile and say, that's okay, baby. Yeah, this nigga's gonna be a thug, but he's also gonna be a Prince Charming. Yeah, this dude is going to, I don't have to give him nothing. Like, you'll hear a lot of women be like, oh well, he's got to show me everything that he's got to show me everything. Now you're not doing nothing for him. She's just like, oh, I just show up, but he's got to pay for dinner. He's got to take me out. He's got to spend $5,000 on me. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. He's got to do this. And but she's not obligated. He's obligated to do and to be. She is
Well,
not obligated to do or to be
well, hold
anything
on.
for him.
Well, just like we talk about boys and women, I hate to cut you off, but I gotta slow you down a little
Go
bit
ahead.
because just like we talk about boys and men, well, that's the difference between girls and women.
Okay.
You can entertain. A little girl wants to be entertained, but she is what? She's not entertained forever. She's
No,
only temporarily entertained.
very much
She
so.
don't like. She don't mind spending your money. She don't
Mm-mm.
mind good dinners. But this is just temporal. This is what you're supposed to do. But the perspective is okay, but you're not supposed to think of me as less simply because I want to talk to you and you want to eat a $12,000 steak in front of me and not listen. No,
That part.
no. I need your attention. And like I said, it's hard to get a little girl's attention because they like shiny things. It is easy to get a woman's attention. The problem is if you playing little boy games in a man's voice, they ain't gonna stay long because you ain't
Mm-mm.
got nothing. You ain't showing them nothing, no way. So
Mm.
the truth is I feel like when you get around women, you get a certain perspective of women. But don't be fooled now, because
Mm.
she wear big girl pumps don't mean she in a woman's position. That's
Nope.
not fair to them either. But it's funny how I feel like certain women will call other women out quicker than certain men. Certain men will let the behavior go on way too long, and I'll be like,
Mm.
tell little homie, he either got to grow up, be quiet, or shut up. One, because all this talking like he's got it like that, knowing he on the passenger ride, hollering
Mm-hmm.
out the window. Come on. You got to put perspective. Women are no different. It's not that I think that I come at them differently. It's just that you can tell who you're talking to. It's like,
True.
oh, I can tell you still in that mode. Okay. You think people are supposed to be here for your entertainment and nobody was born so that you can have a good time. We would love to include you, but you got to
Mm-hmm.
grow up. You got to pay your way too. You can find your way there. Just because a man is in your vicinity doesn't mean he works for you. I think one of the fun things I love to do being married is hold up my ring and say, "This is a microphone, and I can only hear one voice, and it ain't yours. So you need to do your own trash. Don't call me just because your granddaddy told you man's job is taking out trash, not your trash.
Mm,
I only have one woman I do that for,
yeah,
and it ain't you. You
we,
dig?
we,
So
we
it's
gotta
letting
get
them
there.
know it gets real selective.
Yeah, we gotta get there. You gotta earn. You gotta earn. You gotta earn. You
Yeah,
gotta
come
earn.
on,
You gotta
come
earn.
on.
You gotta earn.
Yeah, yeah. That just welcoming you to the table with a cupcake. Yeah, that's all great when we was in class, but when school's over,
Yeah.
wait. Did you bring your money with you? Because cheese costs money.
Yeah.
You know, you
It
gotta let them know.
well,
Hey, wait a minute.
that, but it's and like you say, I would say like yeah, if I'm doing this, what are you doing? And that
Well,
and
see, I
unfortunately,
knew it.
I'm just saying what I'm saying. If I'm doing it, this is all I say. If I'm doing my part, are you doing yours? And I
Well,
think and that's where I would say I think unfortunately today in a lot of circles, a lot of females are being taught you don't have to because he's supposed to. And it's like
mm,
that's not how that works. That's not how that
no,
works. We both
no.
have it. We both have a job to each other. If we're trying to foster anything, we both have a role that we have to play. And
Come on.
if you are not playing your role, you cannot expect me to play mine. And it's the same thing to go down with the taught stuff. If you want to be a mother, if you want to do all of that stuff, you got to do it right. Now we got that's where I say it's just right. I think that's where we go back to that. It's an uncomplicated answer, but so complicated to so many people because they do not understand what they have to do in order to right the ship. They can tell everybody else what their duties are. They can tell you what you're supposed to do. Everybody can
Facts.
tell
Come
you
on.
what
Well,
everybody
yeah.
can tell you what you're supposed to do. And then as soon as you be like, "Hey, you got to clean up the dinghy," ah, nigga, it's over. It's a wrap.
Well, like
It's a
I
wrap.
said, you'll find out. You'll find out way before you get to cleaning job, way before you get to shipping positions. You'll
Hmm.
find out if someone came with the perspective or if they're just leaving with one. You'll
Hmm.
find out. You'll find out the ones to invest in. But like I said, you gonna take some hits along the way.
Always.
Just don't lose the lesson.
Oh
There's
yeah.
gonna be losses along the way. Just don't lose the lesson.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about at the end. That's what gives you the ability to make a better decision. I carry maturity. Why? Because I got the scars to prove I learned it. It,
Hmm.
it. it hurts
Oh, definitely.
when you get to messing around with the things of the heart, and people can play all like it don't bother you. Yeah, I ain't worried about that, bro.
Hmm.
I broke too. I know what it is to drink it off. I know exactly what it is. That's all right. I'm gonna get back on tomorrow. Be all right,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
you move forward,
So
and
that
that's part of being a man. It hurts,
it
but you move
hurts,
forward.
but you move
You
forward.
got you got to keep looking. Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, "The only way that I can be a better man is staying in search of being a better man. There is no time off. You
Hmm.
just have some moments where you get derailed. As long as you're not trying to do a catastrophic failure and throw it all away at one time, because God knows life presents you with some things sometimes. For a
Hmm.
man, as long as you can keep control, I promise you, you have an opportunity. But if you have God, at least you have some coverage. That's all I
That I feel like that's a good word, a good place to go ahead and end this. Uh,
know.
I, DJ, are you there? Snacker, you there?
I agree. I agree. That was a good spot. I look, he was cooking, and I just look. You got to know when to
Y'all
shut up and
silly.
listen.
I was like,
See what I'm saying?
This
snacker.
man.
The moral of the story today, sometimes you got to shut up and listen sometimes. And
Right.
that was
Well,
time to listen instead of talk. So, instead of interjecting, hey, I let y'all cook because y'all was cooking.
right on, right on.
All
Cool.
right. Well, that's
I
cool.
feel like everybody got some good. Somebody
Yeah.
asked some good questions today. The philosopher came
Yeah.
out, Walt. I was like,
Right. Good.
okay.
Mate, right. You saw me listening like, oh wait, let me make sure I understand what this Negro's saying
Well,
before
hold
I
on, let me,
speak.
boy. He got,
Right, before I take
boy,
it at
some
me,
layers on that onion.
let me make sure I got it.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
I feel a good conversation, fellas. I feel like
sure,
this was a
sure.
good one. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Um, please stay tuned next week. For another episode of the our perspective podcast. See right there, I almost messed up that quick. Our perspective
Boy,
podcast. This has been your boy Easygoing A with my bros Aaron A. R. Reedus, and
what
of
it do?
course,
What it do?
and of course, your favorite man with the most nicknames, Snacker. We will catch y'all.
DJ.
DJ Snacker.
I didn't do
I
that,
will.
Walt. First of all,
Uh,
I might have
then
set up the platform, but I didn't do that.
I
We'll
will not be.
ca-
I will not be entertaining this nonsense tonight.
I will not be a part of these shenanigans.
you
I
will.
apologize, sir.
You
I
you
apologize.
you
I
will
All
just
I'm
again
saying,
you will take
platform
these
all I'm
didn't see.
saying is
you will
go
take
enjoy
these
yourself.
jokes. You will take these jokes and you will like them.
All I'm saying is go
Well,
enjoy yourself a bag of garden salsa sun chips, and
Hey,
make sure you drink some
God,
water
guard.
because it's
hey,
gonna be hot.
Boy,
hey, bro, them salsa sun chips is on
whoa.
fire, bro. Them mugs is
See,
flame. Nigga,
Say
I've been
what you
eating,
want.
see,
Say what you
sir,
want.
sir. I've been eating salsa
see.
sun chips since they came out, my guy. So
Exactly. That's what I'm
If you
saying.
don't like salsa, some shit, something wrong with you.
something's
That's all
wrong.
I know.
Hey, look.
Something wrong with you.
Something
You're
wrong
Yeah,
not
with
argue
human.
with your mama, not us.
Yeah,
Clearly.
you ain't human. All right. and until next time. Until
you.
next
Until
time,
next
check us out. And of course, eat salsa sun chips. Peace.
Peace.
time. Peace.